Oh my God, that again. So that's the problem, like I was trying to share. The problem with image generation is the consistency, getting consistent images. And that has just been our issue. That's just been a problem for all of us, and so if we don't know how to manage the situation, it's going to take longer time to generate images. I was speaking with Tim Lade, and then I told her that, and not just Tim Lade, I also spoke with him. We are actually at the meeting, Tim Lade, myself, and Mr. Shegun. We were like, look, the slides have to be reduced to maximum 6. We cannot have more than 6, at least for this time being, till everybody masters it, or till we train our own system to recognize the characters that we use. So we can't have more than 6 slides, because the more these slides, the more problems you have on your hands. It's not easy generating images for 8 slides when you are finding it difficult for the system to give you consistency. So, and what's consistency here? Consistency here means that the second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on images have to be in line with the first image. So, for instance, if in the first image the character is putting on a white shirt, then in the second image you cannot have the same character putting on black shirt or blue shirt. Okay, when it's happening not days after, it's happening the same time. It doesn't make sense. Okay, 2 characters are having a conversation. It's not possible for the first image they are putting on white, then the second image they are putting on black. It doesn't make sense. So that's where consistency comes in. We need that. All of those small consistent small issues of consistency actually could be a turn off. It could be a turn off. So if we don't manage it properly, we're going to produce things that uh, would turn people off and would make our what we do look very, very unreal. So it's very important. It's very important that. Oh, sorry. Hold on, please. All right. So it's very important that we are consistent. Okay. Uh, Now I'm going to share my screen for just to illustrate certain things. Since I think one of the problems that we've had, including myself, is that we have assumed that, I mean, it's this that you are dealing with a human being. If you tell it, let's say in the first prompt that you gave to the system, you specified everything that you wanted. In the second prompt, it should know. That's an assumption on our part. Okay. Now we believe that there are AI systems that are getting as good as that can remember and all of that. But this one we are using, I think it has a bit of issue, maybe because we have not trained it enough. That I think could be a problem. So what it means is that everything that, please pay attention to this. Everything that we want the image we want the characters to have, and we want to be consistent in each of the slides, we must specify it. For instance, if we want the character to be putting on white shirts throughout, you must specify it. It can't be different. It cannot be different. It cannot, like, you can't omit it. In the first image, the character is putting on blue. You want the second image, the character to be on blue. You have to specify it in that second image. The things that you want constant in the first in all of the images, you must put them there. You must indicate all of those things. Everything you want constant. And another thing is we probably assume that we are dealing with humans, so you don't tell it what you want, you just tell it a bit of, okay, generate this image for me, and then you assume that it would get the right clothing, it would get this, it would get that. But no, it doesn't work like that. You have to indicate the kind of clothing that you want for it to have. You have to, it's very important you specify. Okay, it's very important you specify. So this will determine whether we are successful at it or not. This will determine whether we waste our time, a lot of our time, trying to generate consistent images or not. If we don't specify the details, we're going to have problems. So it's important we specify. We have to specify. So let me share with you what I have. I'm going to share this with you because I want us to see it. It's very important we do. All right, please, can everyone see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So if you look at, these are prompts. These slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 6, slide 7 and 8. These are the prompts. These are not the storylines, the comic storylines. So this is what you do, Mr. Emeka, when you generate image for tomorrow. This is what you do. When you are giving the what's the word now? When you are giving the comic story. Let me see if I think I have a comic story here. Let me check. When you're giving the comic story to generate image for, what you need to do to make your job very easy, what you need to do is you copy that comic story. You have to copy it to make your job easy. Copy that comic story. I'm trying to find, there was one I was working on the other time that I used. Okay, look at this comic story, for instance. Look at this one. So this is the comic story. So what I would do is, if I wanted to work on this, I would copy this comic story. I would copy it. All right. And then I would go to ChatGPT. I would go to ChatGPT. And then I would ask ChatGPT, I want you to, okay, let me put it this way. I want to generate prompts with the following comic story. I want these prompts to be used for generating images on image FX platform. These images are cartoon comic style images without speech bubbles. I want you to take this comic story and convert each slide into a very good prompt that will generate the best images on image FX. Note that these characters are Nigerians who live in Lagos, Nigeria. So they are black. I mean, they are Africans. I don't like using the word black. So that's what it should. So I am going to now paste that slide that I copied. I'll paste the slide that I copied. I'll paste the slide that I copied and I'll put it there. Can you people still hear me, please? Let me show I'm not talking to myself.
Nothing, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So now you see, Mr. Emeka, Mr. Charles, that it has converted those things to prompts. Let's see prompt one. Let's look at prompt one. A quiet Lagos cafe on a Saturday morning. Three young Nigerian adults, Jessica in a modest, Victor sit around the table. Jessica leans forward, okay, Odim looks. So now this is the prompt. This is the prompt that you copy and you take to ImageFX for ImageFX to now, work on and use to generate images for you. That's the prompt you use. Okay. Now, look at it just look at it this way. Even though ChatGPT has given us the basics, we can't rely on this. You may want to go through it and then maybe add a couple of things to it. Make sure you specify the color of the clothing of the shirts if it doesn't specify it, the type of shirt, the color, the hairstyle, and all of those things. You have to specify them. It's very important you specify them. Now, once you specify those things that you have specified that you want the characters to have, when you go to slide 2, if you check slide 2, those things are no longer specified in slide 2 prompt. So those things you want constant that you specify, those details you specified in slide 1, you have to go to slide 2 and you put them there the exact way they are in slide 1. The exact way. That is one of the ways I've discovered you get consistent images, or at least something that is close to it. It might not be perfect, but it will help you to get something that is close to consistency. Okay, so you have to indicate those things. This is very important, please. Like I said, you have to indicate every detail, everything that you want to be seen there. You want the characters to have, specify everything, and then those specifics that you indicated, those details, make sure that they are specified in every slide prompt. Put them in every of them. This will keep all of those things constant, so that the ImageFX knows that, okay, make these things constant, don't change these things. Now let me go to the second. This one is a prompt that I worked on. I used to generate the images for the second comic story that we posted yesterday, I think. So if you look at, you see slide 1, cartoon comic style illustration of 2 African women inside a small cosmetic store. Lizzie, dark-skinned, late 20s, wears a blue t-shirt and olive green cargo pants with white sneakers. She has a rounded afro and a tired, frustrated expression. Then go to Eno Ajayi, moderately fair-skinned, mid-30s, stands behind the counter. She's putting on, okay, white blouse and maroon pencil skirt with dark braids tied in a ponytail. If you go to slide 2, you see the same thing. Lizzie, dark-skinned, late 20s, now looks surprised. One year, then look at the other one. She's still wearing a light blue t-shirt, olive cargo pants, and has a natural afro. Ajayi, fair-skinned in a white blouse and maroon pencil skirt with dark. You see that those things that are indicated in slide 1, I also indicated in slide 2, so that it would give me consistency. So that's how you do it. Now, if you go to slide 3, in slide 3, Eno Ajayi is having a flashback. So she's she's discussing her past with Lizzie. And so she's thinking about something in the past. And in that past, she's in the car with a woman called Mrs. Osage, and they're having a conversation. If you look at what is specified, cartoon comic style scene inside a cozy car at night. Mrs. Osage, a warm, dark-skinned woman in her 50s, wears a bright turquoise and orange Ankara dress with an orange head wrap, sits behind Eno. Then it's Eno in a white blouse and maroon skirt, her braids pulled back. You can see it. Then slide 4, still the same flashback image, or the same flashback story now. Cartoon style comic image inside the cozy car at night. Mrs. Osage, a warm, dark-skinned woman in her 50s, razor. So you can see that those things are there. If you don't put that dark-skinned woman in her 50s, the image will alter. The image will give you a woman that is younger. Still wearing white blouse and maroon pencil skirt, looks tearful. So all those things you want to be constant, the setting, the lighting, the environment, make sure you indicate them in the rest of the slide, so that the AI platform, keeps those things constant. And when you do that, you find that you have more consistency, a greater level of consistency. Let me show you the link. I'm going to share with you though, Mr. Charles, but let me show you that link. I hope it. ImageFX, I think this is it. So this is ImageFX. All you need to do is to sign in with your. I'm done, by the way. I'm done. That was what I wanted to let us know. The other part about generating images, you guys know it already. You know that it's about taking prompts, putting the prompt in the AI platform and having it generate image for you. That's as simple as that. I just showed you how to generate the prompts. Take the comic story to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to convert it to prompts, good prompts that are appropriate for ImageFX. Take those prompts, work on each of them, add more details, make sure those details are constant in all of the slides, and then use them one by one. And so as you put in, you may find that the image, the platform may not generate something you would like. So adjust the detail, adjust the word, change something, remove something, add more details to it. That is how you gain that consistency. So this is the platform, sir. This is a platform. I am already logged in, so you can just sign in with your Google account and then you are in. So I think at this point we would have to stop. Is there any question, sirs? Is there any question? It wasn't meant to be long, just this salient point. Hello, please.
Okay.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, why are we only using this image effects? Is it that there is no other one that could give us that consistency in the image generation? That's another site or another a platform that could give us that consistency,
Yes.
except image effects.
Image effects. Before we began to use image effects, we were using Bing, Microsoft platform, and then Microsoft shut that platform down, and so we began to look for other platforms. So there were, for weeks, I think months, we couldn't generate because we couldn't find a platform. We were looking at getting on Leonardo AI, but Leonardo AI is not free; it's paid for, and we actually were going to pay for it. But it was then we now discovered we could actually use ChatGPT, we could use image effects and a couple of others. So we tried out those ones and we found that, okay, ChatGPT, image effects, we could use them. And that's why we began to use ChatGPT and image effects. Now, the reason why we didn't continue with ChatGPT is because ChatGPT will only generate images for a day, about 5 images for a day or so. But image effects, image effects generates more, allows you to generate more images, up to maybe 11 or maybe 12 or something. So you have more chances to try and fail using image effects. And then it seems as though image effects gives better quality in terms of the appearance of the stories. It seems, this is from my personal point of view, okay, what I've seen and what Tim Lade has seen too, noticed. So it seems as though it does give better quality, it seems. There might be a platform out there that gives that consistency, but I'm not aware of. And of course, if there is, most likely it's going to be paid for. And you know how it is. You want to try out the one that is free first. And if you can do it for free, then let's do it. You want to cut down cost as much as possible. So that's what we are trying to do. So there might be, I mean, if you find something that is better and that is probably still free, we could migrate to that one. You know, so that's what I have to say about that, sir. Yeah. I hope it answers the question rather.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Maker, please, do you have any other thing to add or to say?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. And thank you so much for creating that context around, because I knew I was going to leverage AI, especially from the storyline to then develop the prompt. Everything AI is honestly the prompt.
Yeah.
And another important point that you mentioned is the consistency of the prompt, ensuring that it has detail, because I think everything that has to do with this image generation is detail.
Yes.
It's in the detail.
Details.
And I noticed that if you miss the detail, there's a possibility that the detail can also be missed in the storyline.
Yeah.
Right. So while the storyline is good, the detail can be missed. But with AI, you're able to align and arrange the detail. So that when you put it then on image effects, it creates it. But my question then would be, if, for example, I miss a detail in one of the prompts, for example, for one of the slides, right? And I get an image that is not exactly. It just means that I have to then develop another or go back to the detail for that particular slide and generate another one.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it should mean. Right. Yes, just it's like you said, it's about adjusting the details. So you keep tweaking the details, adding more, removing some. Sometimes some details may be conflicting. The image, the AI is not human. It won't say, oh, I think this is conflicting, so I'll just use this and leave that aside. It will give it conflicting, it will try to put them together. So you might remove the one that is conflicting and then stick with one. So it's just about the details and making sure that everything you want constant in the slides, you put them there always, so that it knows that those things should be there. So that's basically it. So thank you so much, sirs. I really appreciate it.